Okay, hi guys. Trust you're all doing well. Okay, so in today's tutorial, we'll be doing some kind of like descriptive analysis of some data sets. All right. Then we're going to be looking at how it works. All right. So what is actually descriptive analysis is actually a statistical method we use to summarize and describe the main features of the data set, just the main features of the data set. So it actually aims to provide an overview, then also to gain insight into the data without making any conclusion or prediction. So that is where we're going to be doing things like measures of central tendencies, all right? So we get to see mean, mode, and median, all of that, a summary of everything. So what we're trying to perform is what we call a summary statistics, all right? For instance, let me just show you something real quick. One of them is like the mean. Say, for instance, I want to find the mean of, we have a data set of, this is a bicycle data set where we have product name, purchase cost, selling price, quantity of hand. So I want to find out what is the mean. The mean of purchase cost there. I'll simply say equals to like mean, equals to average, sorry, average. Then I select like this, like so, this. Then okay, so I can tell the average of purchase cost is about $232. All right, so these are, just trying to summarize this in regards to what means. All right, so that's what we call a descriptive. I'm just trying to like get a summary statistic of this data set. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So before we even get into that, I want to show you what we call an Excel add-in and allows for you to do some complex kind of like calculations or some complex kind of summaries without you getting to do so much. So it's called an Excel add-in. And one of them is called the Data Analysis Toolpak. How do we get this done? So first of all, we go to our file. From our file, we come down to options. From option, we come to add-ins like this. Then we have manage Excel add-ins. Then you can click on it. Then we go. From go, there are a couple of add-ins that are already available with Excel. So we have the analysis toolpak, VBA, Euro currency toolpak, server add-in. All right. So what we're going to be using is the data analysis toolpak. So you can select all four so that whenever you want to do some data analysis real quick, you don't need to like reinvent the wheel. So once you're done with that, it's just okay. And then you can come to your data, and then here they are, data analysis, and then the solver. So data analysis toolbar will allow for you to do some data analysis real quick without you trying like reinvent the wheel, like I said. All right, so we're going to see how we're going to be using the data analysis toolbar to have a descriptive analysis of our data set, right? Column by column. So without further ado, let's see how to make that possible. All right, so we have product name, purchase cost, selling price, quantity on hand. I want to perform a descriptive analysis of the purchase cost, right? Because this is a numerical data, all right? I'm going to do it real quick and you're going to see that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to where we have a data analysis toolpak and it comes out for us now. And there are a couple of things we can do. There are some analysis tools there we can perform. We can do correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics, and over so many of them. So these are things that if you were to do them manually, it will take time. So these are some statistical methods and statistical analysis you can perform with this data analysis toolpak. And so currently, at the moment, what we want to achieve is we want to do a descriptive statistics of this. Let's check it out. We select this and then we're okay. Now it's asking us the input range. All right? So I'm going to select purchase cost here. So I'll select purchase cost like so, down, down, and that's it. All right, and because I'm taking the labels as well, which has cost, so I'm going to select label in first row, select that one. Okay, now what exactly do I want? I want the summary statistics, so I'm going to select the summary statistics. All right, and that will be okay. Now, what will be my output range? I can decide to put it in a new worksheet, but I don't want it in a new worksheet. I want it to be inside this particular worksheet. So my output range should be anywhere from here. I'm going to select. I want it to be from here. All right, and then I close this one like so, and then I okay. Voila. Now look at what happens here. Check it out. You can see that the purchase cost is being summarized for us, and then The purchase cost is summarized for us real quick without us racking ahead over anything. We can see the mean. The mean is already given to us as 232. We can see the standard error. We can see the median. We can see the mode. The mode is not available because we don't have any. We have different values there, so we can enter the mode. We can see the standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, range, the minimum, and then the maximum values are also given there. So we have the minimum to be 15. So from here we can check we have minimum to be 15, the smallest value there, which you can use your minimum, your mean. All right, the mean function to find out which was the smallest and your max to find which the largest. You can also have the sum, you can also have the count. So this makes your work very easy. So now using the descriptive analysis toolpak, data analysis toolpak, and you see that we have had a summary statistics of our purchase cost. All right, how about for the selling price? Let's do the same thing. So I'm going to go again, data analysis, descriptive statistics. Right, so what's my input range this time around? I select this one. So I'm selecting selling price as my input range, like so. I'll drag it down, and that's it. Then I close it. Output range. Where do I want output? I want it to start from here. So, and I close it like so. Summary statistics is already selected for us. Level in first field is already selected, right? And then I okay. Okay, and then we have the selling price. So we can tell the descriptive analysis, summary statistics for selling price. That is, say summary statistics or say descriptive statistics is one and the same thing. So you can tell for the mean of the selling price is $320, the standard error and all that information, right? So that makes the work very easy. You can do the same thing for the quantity on hand. It's quite easy, you know that already. So you just go into data analysis here. Descriptive statistics we're on, and then we select our input range. Quantity on hand is what we're selecting. Drag it down like so, and then we close this, and then our output range would be from where we want it here. Okay, select that, close this like so, and then voila, we have everything. So this is real quick without us trying to like manually try to find the mean, manually trying to find the minimum and maximum, manually try to do the sum, the count. This is just a summary statistics of everything. And then voila, that's what we have. That's what we have as our descriptive analysis. All right, so that's real quick, and that's real quick, and that's real quick. Okay, so we can move to the next thing here. Another thing, another analysis you may want to do, or you may need to put in what we call a histogram in your analysis, right? Still using the same data set. We're going to be talking about histogram. What exactly is an histogram? Histogram is a graphical representation of the distribution of numerical data. You're dealing with what? The distribution of numerical data. It's a type of bar chart that displays the frequencies or the count of data points within predefined intervals called bins or classes, right? So we're looking at the frequencies of a numerical data, right? We want to see the frequency, and then we display them kind of like a bar chart, right? So without further ado, let's see how that can be achieved. Of course, we know that we don't need to go to insert chart and all of that like we used to do here. No. Now we already have the histogram. The histogram is a special bar chart, right? It allows for us to like get frequencies of numerical data and then all that. So let's move straight to our data like so. And then of course, now when you're dealing with histograms, you have to classify them into what we call classes or bins. Like looking at our purchase cost here, for instance, I want to make a histogram of the purchase cost. You can see we have 75, 325, 89, 109, and all of that information now. So what I advise for us to do is to look for the highest, say equals to looking for the maximum value there. All right, I just want us to know the maximum value. Like so, and I enter, so that's 490, and then how about the minimum? Say equals to the minimum value. So this will allow for me to have my bins, or what we call range, IBM class. So I want to just classify that data based on that range. So now the minimum I have is 15. All right, so now without further ado, I can now say, okay, I make my bins, right? I have my bins already here. 100, 200, 300. So values between 0 and 100 will be on this particular bin. Since we have our highest value to be 490, I can decide to like, okay, decide to allow this one, 490, so there is no 600, I'll leave this one out. The least we have is 50, 15, all right? So maybe I can decide to say, let these things be in 50s, okay? The bins will be 50, 100, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, however you want to do it, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550. All right, so let's stop there. All right, the biggest amount we have is 490, so we may not need to include 500. 490, we may not need to include 550, right? So these are the bins. We have now classified our variable, like our purchase cost. Let's just see, okay, between 0 and 50, okay, that one should take one particular bin. All right, so without further ado, let's see how that's going to work. We go to our data analysis. This time around, we're looking at the histogram. Select our histogram, then we okay like so, and then it's asking us our input range. Select our input range, and input range comes with, we select this, purchase cost like this, everything we roll it down to the end, and then we close it. It asks for our bin range, right? So our bin range is from here, all right? So we've already made our bins, and then we select this bins here, all right? We take that like so, and remember that we are allowing the labels now. So the bin range, this bin is a label. Purchase cost is also labels. So we are allowing the labels now. So we want the output range. Where do we want the output range to be? All right. So we want the output range to be from here, for instance. We want it here. We don't want it to be on a new sheet, right? So we want it here. We close it like so. And then you can now select this one. We have what we call the Pareto, that's a sorted histogram. We have cumulative percentage, and all of that. So we have to select all three of this, and then with that, we say Hume and Viola. All right, so it comes out for us. What we see first is the bins. So we have bins between 50. So with the frequency of purchase cost, all right? Purchase cost between 0 and 50, we have frequencies 2. For 100, between 50 and 100 is 6. You can see between 100 and 150, let's say 101 and 150 is 2. Between 151 and 200 is 2. Between 200 and like that, we can see the frequencies there. So looking at the frequency, we also have a cumulative frequency, all right? Cumulative. So this one takes 8%, as you can see. The ones of 100 takes 33%. And then we can see how all of them, the percentage, they each have in the data set, right? So looking at that, we have the bins here, we have the frequencies here, and all that information is given for us. And then here we can now see the histogram is created for us real quick without any stress, without anything. So you see, because we selected a Pareto histogram, that's we sorted it. That's why we have the sorting here. So the one with the highest frequency is sorted like this accordingly. So we can see that the 100, the ones that are between 50 and 100, right? So it has the highest frequency. That's why we're having this sorted out for us there. And we can see we have the frequency, we have the cumulative, and all that information. So that's that about that. So this data analysis kind of like Toolpak, it allows for us to do real quick things that would have been to be like tasky, and then make the work to be a bit slow. All right, so make sure to use that. All right, without further ado, let's talk about correlation. Let's talk about correlation. Now, what exactly do we mean by correlation? Correlation simply means, or correlation coefficient is a numerical measure of some type of correlation that talks about a statistical relationship between two variables. Okay, you want to know, for instance, now, what's the correlation between the purchase cost and the selling price? Does the price, or does purchase cost affect selling price? Does purchase cost affect the quantity at hand? All right, so we're looking at what we call the relationship between these variables. So now the thing about relation is measured between 1 and then -1 and -1, right? So values now. If you have a strong positive correlation, means that there is strong correlation. So if you have values that tends to 1, then it means that you're having a strong positive correlation. If you have values that are negative to -1, it means that you have a strong negative correlation. It means that there is no relationship between those variables, right? So without, let me just show you how to do that manually. And then let's look at correlation of purchase cost and the selling price. Correlation of purchase cost and selling price. How do we achieve this? We can use a formula real quick. Say equals to correlation. That's correl like this. Correl comes up for us, and then we have to select the arrays first. Right, so we first select the first array, and that is the purchase cost like this, and then we drag it down like so, and then comma, select the second array, that is that of the selling price, and let's see the correlation we have. And is the correlation a strong one or not? And then we enter like voila. So we have 0.99. It means that the correlation is very strong. It's almost 1. So it means that the purchase cost have a very strong correlation with the selling price. All right. So how about let's try something like correlation of purchase cost and quantity. All right. So we say equals to correl like so. Okay, and then we select the first array, purchase cost like this. We bring it down, and then comma quantity. Let's see, is there any correlation between, and how strong or how weak is the correlation? All right, so let's see, and we bring it down. We can say that we have a minus correlation. It means that there's no correlation. It is even on the minus side. So minus 0.4. All right, so that's how to manually perform correlations. All right, so let's use our data analysis toolpak to make things easy for us. All right, so we come down here as usual. Of course, you can find the analysis toolpak under the data tab here. Then we select the data analysis toolpak, and then we're going to be looking at correlation. We select correlation like so. All right, so now what's our input range? The input range now, and we select our input range to be this pay attention. I'm taking all three at once, all right? So I'm taking the purchase cost, selling price, quantity on hand, and note that I'm taking also the labels as well, right? I close it and then group by labels in the first row, right? Okay, so I group them by columns, okay? By columns, you can make it by row, take it by columns, and the output range would be, I don't want it to be on a new sheet, right? So I'm selecting this. I'll put the output range here like this, and I close it. And then okay. And voila, the correlation is out for us to see real quick. And then without further ado, we can quickly interpret that the purchase cost and the purchase cost have a 1 correlation. So they have a strong relationship between themselves, right? Now, purchase cost and selling price, there is nothing there. Purchase cost and quantity of hand, there's nothing there. And then selling price and purchase cost, as you can see, have a very strong positive correlation of 0.99. Same thing we had here, right? So you can see here. So selling price and selling price are to itself, so it's 1 normally. Selling price and quantity is nothing. Now, quantity on hand and purchase cost, we can see 0.42. That's a negative correlation. All right, so quantity on hand with selling price also give a negative correlation of 0.42. All right, so that's that. So that's how we can achieve this using our data analysis toolpak. We can do descriptive analysis, we can find a histogram, we can also do our correlation. And there are also a couple of other cool things we can do with the data analysis toolpak. All right, so this is the size of a class for now. Please make sure you go to this video over and over again and practice, because it makes you perfect. If you have any question or any comments, please do make use of the comment section and just say something about the video. And then if there is any error or any mistake or anything you want me to make more clarity about, also comment and then let me know. And also please give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you're not cool with it. Of course, I know you're cool with the video. Give it a thumb, give it a like, and then this will allow us to do better next time. So for now, see you and then have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.